Hi, this is Valerie from Canadian Creepies, and you're listening to Down the Crooked Path. Canadian Creepies is recorded on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, under the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. These lands and waters have been cared for since long before Canada existed, and they remain deeply important to Indigenous communities today. As we tell stories about darkness, injustice, and memory, I want to acknowledge the very real histories of colonization, violence, and erasure that Indigenous peoples continue to endure. A land acknowledgement can't undo that harm, but it is a reminder to keep listening, learning, and supporting in truth and reconciliation in meaningful ways. We share these stories not to forget, but to shine light, always with respect for peoples and nations whose land we live on. Canadian Creepies covers true crime, dark history, and disturbing events. Some episodes may include graphic descriptions or sensitive subject matter. We do our best to handle every story with care and respect for those affected. That said, we sometimes use humor and sarcasm as a way to process heavy content, never to disrespect victims, survivors, or their families. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Canadian Creepies. I'm your host, Valerie.
And I'm your host, Amanda Joy.
And we're back. I know we did a re-release last week. I'm having a tooth issue. I'm sorry. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow. I'm doing my best. And we're back with Barbara Stoppel, part 3. Part 3. This probably will have 2 more parts to it, I think.
I think so as well. It was supposed to be a 3-parter, then it turned into a 4-parter.
Doesn't matter. I'm not even limiting parts.
Has been just, treasure trove of information for us.
It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Love it.
Thank you, Christine. This episode was researched by Christine. All of this.
Shout out.
We are, Amanda and I are but mere vehicles.
We're tools.
We're tools. We're vessels. We are but mere vessels.
Yes.
We are vessels for Christine's research.
We are the vehicle of the research from Christine reaching your ear holes.
That's right. From Christine's research to your ear holes. This is Canadian Creepies.
We're in a mood today.
Canadian.
I like it.
Canadian Creepies.
Ear holes.
Ear holes. Jeez Louise. Before we start, I have to shout out Shelby. Shelby, I think her last comment was on episode 49. Oh. So by the time she gets here, she'll be like, oh, my name. Shelby has been commenting. She found us through Creepy Shit podcast.
Shout out Star.
Shout out Star. We love shouting out Star. And further to that, shout out to the Creators Collective.
We have an awesome little cozy community of podcast
and
creators.
I usually throw an ad for it in as well.
Yeah, one of the creators or the collective itself.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. Because I think it's very important to promote other indie podcasts.
Community over competition.
That's right. That's right. It's like my dance teachers used to say quality over quantity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good principle too. Okay. Yes. I forgot what I was saying. Creepy Shit. So Shelby has left some wonderful comments. Thank you, Shelby. And Shelby nominated a Creep of the Week.
Oh.
Which I'm not going to say. But it will
keep me in suspense.
But it will be in like an upcoming episode. I just have to add a little document. I'm formatting the Creep of the Weeks less. I think you guys are liking that, and I'm just like going on the fly with stuff.
I dig it.
I think you're liking that. I think you guys are liking that. Let me know.
Question mark.
A couple other things I just wanted to touch on that are not relevant at all, but I thought some listeners might be interested in knowing. Canada Shore is being renewed for a 2nd season. Hell yeah. That show was so fun, and what a lesson in communication. Come on.
I mean.
Did you watch Canada Shore?
very briefly.
Okay, you gotta give him a chance. You're not into reality TV.
I'm not into the reality. No.
Then that's fine. But they're like their ability to like they get into a fight when they're drunk or whatever, and then the next day they're like, "Hey, can we go have a chat?" And then they'll chat and they'll just be like, "I was doing this and that was wrong, and I'm sorry about that." And the other person will be like. Yeah, and it was really shitty the way you were doing that, but I do appreciate your apology. And then they'll just like hug it out. Like that's basically the gist of the conversations. And it's beautiful and wonderful and just wonderfully Canadian.
I forced John to do that.
Yeah.
Like when we get into a fight, I'll wait for him to like make us coffees in the morning and then I'll be like, let's have a conversation. And he's like, all you do is talk.
And you're like, I know.
Like, yeah.
I know.
It resolves shit.
And the second thing I wanted to say is that I'm seeing a Toronto Scepters game on April 21st with Allie. Mm-hmm. I think I mentioned that before, but the date's getting closer, so I wanted to bring it up again. And that's all. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
Nothing that
Too late, we're moving on. So
I was going to say nothing comes to the top of my head, but by the time I walk out the door and go home, something will.
You're like, shit, I should have said that. Okay, so we do have some more references for this episode. Stoppel, the book. The province of Manitoba's archived news releases. Mm-hmm. The suspect's suicide note denies guilt is the name of, so CBC. The CRWC, which is wrongful convictions. The Canadian Encyclopedia. The Corey Wise Innocence Project, which is the University of Colorado Boulder. The Supreme Court of Canada. And CBC News again. Those are our references. I was saying the titles of them and I was like, well, I don't think I should do that. It might give some stuff away.
Oh.
Okay. You ready?
Let's dive deep.
Okay. Lorraine.
The angry coffee-needing woman.
The angry coffee-needing woman. Now, I know we all feel that sometimes in the morning. I know.
This was 8:00 at night, though.
And Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's
oh,
true.
Wait, was it Christmas Eve?
It was Festivus. It was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve. So, Lorraine Genower, I'm trying to think about where we were. Okay, the police lineup.
Yes.
Okay, so a typical police photo lineup consists of placing a criminal suspect photo in a group of 9 other photographs of people who had nothing to do with the crime.
Right.
So if you did the crime, it's you and 9 other people who kind of look like you. Actually, not even, just 9 other people. Just 9 other people. The eyewitness is tasked with the responsibility of identifying the suspect. Ideally, all 10 photos should be similar in appearance. If a photo lineup is unduly suggestive, all 10 photos should be similar in appearance. So I was right.
You clocked it.
I was right. I was just a little ahead of myself. If a photo lineup is unduly suggestive, any affirmative identification of a suspect may be excluded from her or his subsequent prosecution.
Oh.
I don't understand what that means. Can you say it for me in different words? Unduly. Oh, so if everybody looks too much alike.
No, it's more as if so basically the only person who looks like the criminal is the person they want them to pick.
Okay.
So it's
like so if it was a person of color, they would be like the only black person.
Yeah, or like if they were described like as having maybe darker skin, they might put like fairer skinned black people in there to be like which one.
Right.
Or
okay.
Something.
I understand.
Yeah. So and then if that happens, I think that isn't a part of trial from my understanding.
Okay, so the photo lineup doesn't count in the trial.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, understand. When Mikolajewski, the author, reminding myself of who everybody is. When the author of the book Stoppel, Andrew, is his first name, I believe.
I think so.
Let's call him Andrew. Much
what
easier.
Up, Drew?
Name. Andrew, the author.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe I made that joke already.
I think you did.
So for anybody listening to these like in a row, they're like, is she okay? She loves this joke. So when Andrew, the author, interviewed Lorraine, She admitted picking out Thomas Sophonow in the original photo lineup, stating it was easy enough because it was so different from the rest. Then he asked her if the composite and the photo helped her identify Sophonow in court, to which she replied, "They helped me identify him. I don't know if I could have recognized him in court without them." Justice Corey again concurred with their concern regarding the unfair lineup, noting the differences in Thomas Sophonow's pictures are such that it might as well have carried a notion saying, "Here I am."
That's really... I mean, everything else they've done in this case. Has anybody mentioned that they're keeping a tally for us yet?
Yeah, not yet.
This is how many things that they've
they're messing up
in this?
Or,
deliberately
making a square peg fit into a round hole. Most importantly, she was adamant that the person who came into Boots drugstore and asked for twine at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the murder was the same person she saw leaving the Ideal Donut Shop at 8:30. This, of course, could not have been Sophonow, since he was at the Klein's, his friend's place.
I think it was quasi in-laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, the evidence was pointing to another person.
Like, you would think, like, yes, I understand you want to close a case, but
Yeah.
you would think you want to get it right so that it doesn't happen again. Are you that desperate for work?
No, it's that they just want to get someone caught. They just want to get it done. They're just not interested.
It's like an addiction.
And
they
also,
just got to do
and they always say, "Oh, there's pressure from the public. Then get better at your job. I don't know.
Well, with
innovate more police techniques. I don't know. Read more books about police. Look to other countries. Find out what they're doing for forensic. I don't know why.
New Zealand.
Look to other places that are solving these crimes better with a lower. I don't know.
Well,
this is your job to do that.
The whole issue wasn't even that they weren't solving crimes. It was that the police force was corrupt because they murdered a dude and buried him in a burlap sack.
That's right.
Like that was the public's issue with the police in this area to begin with, was they weren't trustworthy.
Exactly.
So your solution is to
just
pick a guy and go, you.
He's the guy who tried to give you a tip on someone else, the guy who tried to actually help you out. Wow. That's it. I'm walking off.
Shade.
I'm walking off. I'm done. Done on this podcast. So Norman Genower. I think that's her husband,
who she sent to go give a talking to the teenage girl who closed the shop
early,
who was really getting murdered because she was mad about her coffee.
Man, you don't want Lorraine coming to your house for dinner.
God forbid you have the wrong fork.
That's right. Jeez. When Norman viewed the unfair photo lineup, he commented on Sophonow's photo stating, "This guy, I know him from somewhere. I don't know why. I couldn't be sure with the pictures." This was hardly a positive identification. When he viewed the live lineup with Sophonow in attendance, he stated, "From what I see, I'd say number 7, which was Sophonow." Again, this is not a solid identification, especially after he was shown Sophonow's photo earlier. He had already seen the photo. So he's like, I don't know where I recognize this from.
I do know
Probably
this guy.
15 minutes earlier.
I have seen his face before.
He does, however, state he's about the right height and weight, and he walks just like the guy. In essence, there was no positive identification. However, there was a conversation between Norman and Sergeant Beener. Norman asked Beener, or Biner. I'm going to say Biner because I feel like saying Beener is racist. Is that a racial slur?
It can be.
I take it back. Don't clip that. The name is spelled Biener.
But it kind of looks...
Bieber, it's spelled the same way as Bieber with an N.
It kind of looks like...
Don't clip it.
Bien, like in the French word bien. So,
but there's no accent.
Yeah,
there's no accent aigu.
I was just gonna say.
What's the other one? Accent aigu, accent grave. Oh,
I can't remember. I haven't taken French since 2002.
But Biner, sorry, I'm going to call him the sergeant for these purposes because I'm not doing that. So Norman asked the sergeant if he had picked out the right guy, to which the sergeant replied that he had picked out the person being investigated as the suspect.
That's leading.
Yeah. An already frail identification was now tainted. Having not identified Sophonow in either photo pack or live lineup, Norman went on to identify him in his trials. There was nothing evil or malicious in the testimony of Norman. His tentative identification was reinforced by the comments of the sergeant, making him become more certain as time went on.
They did the same thing with Johnny Boy.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
It was wrong to do, but it certainly wasn't alien to the Winnipeg Police Department. Whew. Norman. Let's move on to Mildred.
Norman seems like he's a go along to get
He's a
along.
pacifist.
Yeah.
Norman's
right?
a pacifist.
The cops are like, do this. He's like,
"'Kay."
okay. His wife is like, jump. And he's like, how
Right.
high? Like,
He's not even asking how high. He's just jumping. Mildred King is our next witness. On March 15th, 1982, Mildred King viewed the live lineup. She was asked if she could see the suspect, to which she responded, no. When asked if she was positive, she stated, yes. As the men were being escorted out, she requested the last 5 males be viewed again. At this time, she commented, no, I can't swear. Number 7 was the closest from the side view, the right side view. Once again, there was no positive identification. Yet at the preliminary hearing and all 3 trials, she was positive in identifying Sophonow as the man she saw on December 23rd, 1981.
well, I mean, you keep sticking this guy in people's faces.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to be like, yeah. Like, the more you look at something, the more it becomes, and the more you're told something too, you start to believe it.
Yes, absolutely. It should be noted that neither the police nor Crown Counsel shared the weaknesses of the identification of the suspect to defense counsel. Because this was before you didn't have to do that. For those just tuning in, please listen to the other parts. Or don't, whatever, live life dangerously. Who the hell am I to tell you what to do? Fuck that. But I will just let everyone know that this was a point in time, the 80s and before prosecution and defense had to share exhibits and witnesses, right?
Just evidence overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just evidence overall.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the word for evidence.
Yeah.
So, but I could remember Austin Powers Exhibit A. So that's. So yeah, had this been exposed to the jury, it would be hard for a conviction to have ever been made. After dissecting the witness identifications or lack thereof, it became more clear that they had convicted an innocent man.
And if this is you just tuning in and not having visited the previous episodes, we did discuss that it's because they didn't share this information or a lot of the information with the defense. This is how they tried him 3 times. The first was a mistrial, and the second 2 they came back and they're like, you did wrong. You should have. They didn't have this information. Mistrial. So he got off eventually. He was. Now I can't think of the word. He was
exonerated.
Yes, thank you.
There were also jailhouse informants.
So sneaky.
In reviewing the case, there seemed to be no end of jailhouse informants lining up to testify that Sophonow confessed to them. They just wanted fucking time off their sentence.
They promise them all sorts of things. You can get more.
I shouldn't have said that. Don't clip it.
But that is one of the things that they do promise them is like less jail time. I think it depends on what the information they give, like what the result is from that.
Yes.
But they can get like more yard time or better snacks. Snacks are important.
Snacks are important, literally.
Yeah, like they're promised something. They're rewarded for that.
And the author notes, excuse me, the author of the book Stoppel, in regards to jailhouse informants, notes, I personally have little interest in reviewing their allegations and will wish them all a short life. And it does suggest that investigators were desperate to add more incriminating testimony in a weak case, even if they had to use liars, thieves, and a rapist.
I love that he's like,
unless that was Christine that wrote that. That could have been
Maybe?
Christine I personally have little interest in...
That could have been Christine,
That could
the
have
way
been
it's
Christine.
worded.
It's either Christine or the author. Either
Christine.
Way, Christine, you know you got to put your stuff in another color so we know it's you.
Either way, I like that little side piece.
Yeah, either way. Kudos to whomever wrote that. It does suggest that investigators were... I already wrote that. Read that is what I meant. Objectively, one must conclude that Sophonow and Arnold both bore a striking resemblance to the composite drawing. What one was Arnold again?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay, let's go see if he's in there. Let's see if he's in the cast of characters.
I have a suspicion of who he might be, but I don't want to say it just in case we maybe haven't gotten to that part
Maybe we haven't
yet.
gotten it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back. Okay. Guys, this is real time. It's not real time, but this is... I gotta go down to where I was.
We're doing this in real time.
To us.
To
us, it's
we
real
are
time.
experiencing
To you,
this
it's
in real time.
Fake time.
Because we don't read over this before Christine. We dive into this blind.
Yes,
and
I do review it a
living
little
it.
bit because Christine likes for us to do that.
And this is your baby, so I let you do that.
Yes.
I'm just along for the
you're
wild
along for the ride. The wild wide. You're along for the wild wide.
The wild ride.
She's along for the wild ride.
I'm living vicariously through Christine's information.
Fucking don't clip that. And if you do, you owe us $10 every time you play it. Okay. So there were two alarming concrete exceptions. Several witnesses described the suspect as having an acne pocked, thank you. Having an acne pocked marked face. I know what that is. I just couldn't
think of the word.
Yeah. In reviewing Sophonow's photo, he can only be described as baby-faced. Arnold, on the other hand, even described himself as having a pizza face. Secondly, Sophonow was almost 6 inches taller than Arnold and would have appeared almost 7 feet tall when wearing a cowboy hat.
Mm.
Do you want me to keep going on the I think you should. I think we should switch every section. I think you should do this now.
So
do you want me to keep going?
Who is Burchill? Who is Burchill? I know Andrew is the author.
Right. Burchill might be another cop.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I think so. I think you're correct. So Burchill and the author, Andrew, Drew, my boy, they go to a local laboratory and they have the twine tested. The wine, my word. I can't say my W's today.
That's okay.
It's because I recorded my own episode earlier today.
Yes, and you're doing great.
Thank you.
And Daisy's barking because Ryan's home, and that's okay.
Shout out, Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan for always letting us...
Keeping us entertained.
So he doesn't keep us entertained. Shout out to Ryan for walking in.
Keeping Daisy entertained.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
So they go to have the twine tested. The twine that the cops didn't test, despite the fact that it only would have cost them $200 to be certain where it actually came from.
Did not test the twine. They didn't want to test the twine.
It was made by a company in Portage La Prairie, and there was no connection between the murder weapon and BC.
Daisy! Come here, Daisy. Okay, keep going. She's good.
The wrongful supposition that the twine originated in BC prompted the investigation to focus on Sophonow. This turned into, focus on that lead, like the BC lead, which turned into a connection with Sophonow and made that much more plausible. The documentation sent from Bernard to Viggraf indicated that Bernard told Sophonow his fingerprints were found inside the donut shop. They weren't.
They were not.
They were not.
They were not.
They were spoofing.
Yeah.
Sophonow replied that his prints were inside the donut. If they were inside the donut shop, they would have been on a spoon or a coffee cup. This is It is then noted that Barnard had told him that the prints were also found inside of the washroom, to which Sophonow denies ever going into. When conducting an interview, police are not permitted to lie.
You're not allowed to lie.
They can withhold some things.
But no lying.
Or lead questions, but you cannot lie about that.
Yeah.
Being deceptive, however, is fair game, like we were saying. For example, Barnard would have been permitted to ask Sophonow, if we were to find your prints in the donut shop, where might they be located? However, he was not allowed to say that they were found, since that would have been false. So from the start, Barnard had lied and disregarded the police department's policies. The author, Andrew, also...
Because he said we did find them.
Yeah.
Right.
He lied about it.
Yeah.
And then he was not only lied about it the first time, but then said that they were in the washroom as well, because that's where they found
so
the
he lied
body.
twice about it.
Yeah. Asshole.
Yeah.
So Andrew observed there were other problems with the initial signed statement from Sophonow. When the police take statements from suspects or witnesses, they are supposed to take the comments verbatim. This was quite obviously not done in this case, and Sophonow does not normally refer to time in 24-hour fashion. The police do. So he was...
Right.
Yeah. So it was like, oh...
So he's like, I wasn't there at 1,300 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In essence, these were not his words, but rather Barnard's summary of what he had heard Sophonow say.
Gotcha.
I think earlier we did talk about how Sophonow was saying he was in there for like hours.
Yes.
And there was only like a 20-minute read of what he had actually said.
Yes. Yep.
I'm so frustrated.
I know.
So Andrew, the author, who is assigned to review the case, wrote the book on the case, realized quite early that this confidential review was going to become very political. In a vain effort to keep on track with both Sergeant Legge and the author, they taped a large photo of Barb on the first page of their police notebooks. She needed to be the most important person in the investigation. I like that.
Yeah.
And that's a good reminder of who this is for.
Yes.
Andrew was expecting a high, complex murder whodunit, but this case was anything but. After reading the file for mere hours, Andrew was shocked by the lack of evidence, as it wasn't even challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, 18 years had passed, and memories of the witnesses were unfortunately not the only variables that had faded over time. As investigators would soon discover, this was only what can be described as a highly damaged case. Legge and Andrew began what they could refer to as an autopsy of documents. It became evidently clear in a short period of time that Sophonow was not guilty of murder.
Yeah, that's clear now.
Like,
very clear. Crystal.
It's like, what color is the sky? And they're like, purple.
Yeah. No, it's purple. No.
It's definitely, it's purple.
I know for a fact it is purple.
I know what purple looks like. It's the most purpley purple I have ever purpled. Jeez. Unfortunately, when reading the report, it is in its entirety, Andrew would have to conclude that the person possessing an average intelligence would have been come to the same conclusion. More importantly, an average person would have come to this conclusion even in 1986 when Sophonow was asking for a review, and in 1981 when he was actually arrested.
Yes.
The most important...
It's really funny.
Christine, I love you.
Is that Christine who wrote that?
It doesn't.
It's gotta be.
I don't know. It's bullet pointed in with the rest of it.
She's so funny.
She's so sassy. I love it. Average intelligence.
It's someone with an average intelligence, even in 1986.
I was born in 1986.
And more importantly, in 1981.
The most important piece of evidence left behind by the killer was the twine. It was determined at the time of the initial investigation that it was manufactured in the United States and used by BC Hydro. This led investigators to believe that the suspect had a BC connection. The original twine was not sufficiently investigated. The simple cost, I said 200 earlier, it was 100. Was available, and for some reason it wasn't done. But this was the murder weapon.
No worries.
So why was it not tested?
It doesn't need to be.
We got it.
It was the 80s.
Psychic.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
Better late than never. Birchill and Andrew went to the local laboratory to have the twine tested. Tunnel vision has been described as the narrowness of viewpoints resulting from a concentration on a single idea or opinion, etc., and the exclusion of others. It originated with the police, who may have had the mindset or subculture that fostered a belief that the end justified the means. How can you get to that conclusion? You don't have the right guide. Arresting somebody is not justice.
It's
just
not.
Random person. I'm annoyed.
It's very annoying.
This mindset is known as noble cause corruption. Corruption indeed. It is the antithesis.
Corruption indeed.
It is the antithesis of what the role of the police or the crown should be. The Honorable Justice Corey, in his summarization regarding the investigation and prosecution of Sophonow, would later concur with the reviewed assessment in this wrongful conviction. The actions of the police and numerous non-disclosure issues with the Crown provided that perfect breeding ground for tunnel vision. I mean, when your constables are murdering people and burying them in burlap sacks, stealing and giving the goods to the other fellow cops at parties.
Hey.
You know... The role of police and crown should not be to obtain a conviction. The purpose of criminal prosecution should present all credible evidence relevant to what is alleged and not include any notion of winning or losing a case. Providing full disclosure is the best method our courts can have at arriving at the truth. It becomes apparent quite soon in this review that there are two parallel paths that we are on. One was to exonerate an innocent man, and the other was to pursue a real killer, and they would upset numerous people along the way.
Yeah.
Many of the original investigators told us, I'm assuming
not us,
the Andrew
author.
and Leggy or Burlick?
Burchill.
Thank you.
Burchill.
Burlick.
Werner Gerner. Werner Gerner.
What episode was that from?
The Pond.
Was that from The Pond?
No.
The Pond. I've quoted that once already off camera today.
Yeah.
It was
off mic.
Off mic. Off
Are we
camera.
on a reality show? Jeez.
Oh my goodness. So many of the original investigators told us, the people who wrote the book, that there were rumors in the department many years earlier that they had gotten the wrong guy. So even they questioned it. Police were justified in considering Sophonow as a viable suspect. However, that when that hypothesis failed to make sense, they ignored the information pertaining to his innocence. When new information came to light, that did not fix. That did not fix. They failed to modify their beliefs of his guilt, and their tunnel vision remained. Less than 6 working days into the review, the investigators knew that Sophonow was innocent. This gave the investigative team an interesting dilemma. If Sophonow didn't murder Barbara Stoppel, then who did?
Who did it?
Who did?
We're going to find out. Next week. I'm just kidding.
As it turned out, the name of the killer was peppered all over the original reports and in her mother's possession of the past 18 years.
What?
It was agreed during their meeting that the identity of the killer was blatantly obvious. Just 5 days after Barbara was attacked, her mother once again grieved by her side at St. Boniface Hospital. This would be the last full day that she would be kept on life support.
Ugh.
Muriel left her daughter's side and was approached by a man in the lobby.
No,
Not
Muriel.
a man.
At this vulnerable time?
He explained...
This is no time to be approached by a man. Muriel, let me tell you.
He explained that he was a truck driver that had frequented the Ideal Donut Shop and was a friend of Barb's.
What were you doing at the hospital? That's weird. Keep going.
I think they had
I don't
more
like
lax
that.
visitation rules back then.
She served me
too.
coffee. So I'm visiting her at the hospital. She might be vulnerable. I don't know. She wants to see you in that state.
Okay, so when I worked at Swiss Chalet, I had
Would you want your customers coming to the hospital to see you?
I had customers who gave me like housewarming gifts when I first moved out. Like,
but that's nice. But
yeah,
going
that
to
is
see you
nice.
at the hospital is like...
There are some who still like invite me to Christmas dinner, even though I've never gone.
You're like, thank you.
When I had my arm surgeries, and there was one who was like, I have an ice machine, like dropped it off at my house so that I could have like, it's like a giant ice pack, and it just continuously pumps ice water through it, so you don't have to swap it out. So like, I don't know. Maybe it depends how regularly he talked to her, I guess.
Okay,
like,
we'll keep going. Let's see.
I'm
just
not,
keep going.
I know where this is headed.
Right now,
but
you're on this guy's side, and I don't like it.
I'm not on his side.
It seems like you're on his side.
Because I know I have an idea where this is headed, but I just feel like that it might not be as weird as
let's keep going.
We'll keep going.
Let's continue.
He said that he wanted to check on her condition, and Muriel told him solemnly that she was still unconscious.
You're doing
took
great.
Me 3 times.
You got it.
And and the doctors didn't know if or when she would wake up. When the man showed concern, he asked her for a favor.
Are you kidding me? No.
No.
Somebody says, my child is dying, and somebody says, can you do me a favor? You're getting a throat punch.
Can you do something for me right now?
Absolutely not.
I got other shit on my mind, buddy.
I can't do anything but, I don't know, spit on you. Don't clip that. I say things for the laughs. I don't mean anything.
We're on a roll today.
I know. We think we are anyway.
We'll see. The comments will tell. He wanted Muriel to contact him if Barb's condition changed.
No.
And he left these words written on a piece of paper. They said, Terry Arnold.
Arnold.
Hey, Arnold. Aging ourselves.
Beat it, football head. Arnold, the love of my life.
She has a
fucking
secret
shrine.
I was just going to say that.
With the bubble gum. Yeah, and a piece of his hair.
Oh.
Like, Helga, relax. Her sister was like really hot.
Tame those eyebrows, girl.
Yeah, like what are you doing?
Her sister was really hot.
Yeah, she had the kilt.
Oh my God.
What was that?
So the piece of paper said, Terry Arnold, 925, Comrell Street, 200.
I think this is a phone number because there was no area code at the time.
Gotcha. I'm used to that by now.
Yeah.
So 237-5473. Miss Donna Barbie, mother. She thought that the man was a bit odd and relayed what had occurred to the police. Yeah. The very next day, Detective Bell and McQuaid paid a visit to Arnold, who was at his apartment on Cromwell, just across from the Dominion Shopping Center, and of course, the Ideal Coffee Shop.
Donut shop.
Same thing. They considered him a possible witness, and they asked him if he knew anything of interest in the case. Could he provide? But he couldn't provide anything, sorry. Before leaving, they showed him a composite drawing of the suspect, and he didn't recognize the person. Later in the morning, they tracked down 49-year-old Garnet
LaPierre, I think.
LaPierre? Yes, sorry, thank you.
That's
LaPierre.
Okay.
Who was in the shop about 11:30 on the day of the murder. He recalled that there were 7 other customers in the shop, but only one caught his attention. The radio was playing Christmas carols, but when a country western song came on, one of the patrons started shouting, stated in a loud voice, "I see somebody likes country and western music."
Okay.
The comment was
relax.
Chill,
this
buddy.
is Winnipeg.
Right.
I'm sorry, not even Winnipeg. Like, you're in Manitoba. I'm sure someone loves country in the prairies.
Everybody is wearing cowboy hats and cowboy boots. Chill, buddy.
Straight up, yeah.
That comment was loud enough for all to hear, but it was directed at just no one. He was just shouting for the sake of shouting. Because of the man's unusual mannerisms, LaPierre took notice of him and described him as being about 22, 26 years old, 5 feet 11 inches tall with a medium build. He had a pockmarked face, mustache, and was wearing a brown cowboy hat. You're even in a cowboy hat. Why are you so upset?
I see someone likes country and Western music.
Maybe he wanted to be friends.
Yes, he was just like, who is it?
He also had on a dark ski jacket and blue jeans. More and more tips started to come in once Barbara had succumbed to her injuries. And as the family arranged her funeral, the police were determined to solve the crime. Michael Scott Pickle was a thin, tall man in his 20s and called in one of the numerous tips that would be followed. Detective Van der Graaf and Sobchak. Thank you. Interviewed him on December 30th. He had seen the composite drawing and believed that he recognized the suspect, a man known to him as Terry Arnold. Oh my God, I botched that. It's because I keep saying
a man known
Andrew.
to him as Andrew. Wait, as Terry Arnold. Ooh. Good.
Oh,
okay.
He described Arnold as a thief that
Wow.
regularly wore cowboy hat and cowboy boots, and more importantly, he believed that he was capable of such violent acts.
Yeah.
Police records indicated that he was living in a 200 block the 200 block of Furby Street.
Love it. I mean, love that street name.
Furby
Street.
are creepy.
In the 80s?
When they arrived, they were met by a caretaker of the block, Layla, who happened to be Arnold's aunt. Lila told them that Arnold had moved and was now living with his mother, Donna, at the house in Cromwell. Their curiosity was aroused immediately when they realized that the block was right across from the donut shop.
Yes, that is very curious.
And it was about to get more intriguing. She claimed that Arnold wore glasses and a cowboy hat similar to the one in the composite. Van der Graaf and
Sobchak.
thank you, contacted Bell and McQuaid after learning that they
I want to call him
McQuat. I said that so confidently.
McQuat. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
After learning what they had learned when they spoke with Muriel Stoppel the day earlier, they learned that Bell and McQuat had searched Arnold's mother's suite and could not find any evidence such as the cowboy hat or the boots.
Because he was wearing them.
Or he tossed them.
Or he tossed them.
I mean, you just raped and murdered a girl in a bathroom.
You threw out your box of stuff.
He threw out the box of stuff. What's in the box? They confirmed that he did wear glasses that could be similar to the composite, but heavier in the face. They described him as being somewhat strange. Bell and McQuaid were aware of Arnold's history of wearing a cowboy hat and the boots at the time of their inquiries.
He was unaware of the...
Sorry, thank
That's
you.
okay.
Van der Graaf and Sobek. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's...
Then went to Arnold Street on Cromwell and spoke with his mother, Donna.
Donna.
She told them that Arnold was not home, but that they could try the Salisbury House at Portage Avenue and Camden Street, where he had a girlfriend named Jackie. They soon identified the alleged girlfriend as Jackie Goulier? Jackie, who lived on Burnell Street. They submitted their report noting at the end, the officers find it strange that Arnold had taken such an interest in the victim, particularly when she worked at the donut shop for such a short time. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
She wasn't working there very long. Discard everything I said about when I was working at Swiss and had these
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
That makes it a lot more. Now I get why the mom was like, who
What
the
the
fuck
hell?
are you?
Yeah.
Like, on December 31st, 1981, at about 6:45 a.m., Van der Graaf and Sobek...
It's early. Fuck.
Right?
They rocked up.
I'm sleeping.
I'm tired.
They arrived at the Salisbury House on Portage and Camden and located Arnold. They described him as being somewhat similar to the composite. 5 feet 11 inches, 180 pounds, short brown hair, mustache, dark framed glasses. His face was quite noticeably acne scarred and he appeared much older than 19. Arnold was taken to the back of the cruiser car and questioned briefly regarding the homicide. That's interesting that they put him in the cruiser.
Yeah, they arrested him. They just immediately began questioning him.
Okay. He told officers that he had already been interviewed the day after he went to the hospital to check on Barb's condition. He then asked officers to check with Jackie, who could account for his whereabouts on the evening of the 23rd. What time in the evening, though, buddy?
Yeah. Dumbass.
With Arnold still in the cruiser car, Veragraph went back to the restaurant and interviewed Jackie. She said that she had known Arnold for about a month.
Hardly a girlfriend.
Come on.
It's hardly your girlfriend.
Come on, Jackie.
And
he was a regular customer. And he was there almost every night, often all night long. On the 23rd, she does recall seeing him in the restaurant when she arrived from work at 10:30 and 11 p.m. See? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. What time? What time, Arnold? Not the time of the murder. She was not asked if he was wearing a cowboy hat, or for that matter, what he was wearing at all that night.
Yeah.
Arnold was then taken to the PBS Public Safety Building for questioning. In his possession was a diary with a note from December 29th, 1981. He mentioned that undercover police officer came to his home to speak to him about the case of Stoppel. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Police learned that he was in custody on December 15th, 1981, and that cowboy hat he used to own was left at a co-accused house before the arrest. He was adamant that he did not replace it. With regards to his alibi, he claimed that at 1:30 in the afternoon on December 23rd, he was at the Dominion Shopping Center buying milk and bread. He went home and fell asleep, telling his mother to wake him up at 8. When he was awoken, he received a ride downtown by his mother's friend, cab driver Reggie Davis. Arnold claimed that Davis dropped him off at the North Star Inn because he received a taxi call. He then took a bus to the Salisbury House at Portage in Camden and arrived at 8:45. Oddly enough, the same time that police were called to the Ideal Donut Shop.
You. Still haunting the same old fast fashion? Time to dig up something better with Back from the Dead Goods, a Canadian small business where forgotten threads get a second life and sustainability meets spooky. This isn't just upcycled clothing. It's resurrected fashion with an eerie edge. Handpicked, reworked, and revived, every piece is as unique as a ghost story whispered at midnight. And because you're a part of the Canadian Creepies family, you get an exclusive deal. Use code Canadian Creepies at checkout for 10% off. Find them lurking on Instagram, Etsy, and Poshmark. Links are in the episode description. Give your wardrobe a second chance at life, if you dare. Hey creeps, it's Valerie here. And if you're anything like us, you love capturing a moment, whether it's spooky, sweet, or somewhere delightfully in between. Let me introduce you to our go-to for stunning shots, Darkroom Photography, based right here in the heart of the Niagara region. Mel, the brilliant eye behind the lens, is a lifestyle and creative photographer who brings a little bit of magic and maybe a touch of mystery to every session. She's got all her prices listed right on her website, super transparent, no tricks, and she runs killer seasonal specials around Mother's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and more. I'm telling you, her Halloween sessions, creepy perfection. So, if you're in the Niagara area and looking to capture memories that are hauntingly beautiful, hit up Mel at mel@darkroomphotography.ca or check out her work at www.darkroomphotography.ca. That's Darkroom Photography, where your memories come to life, even in the dark. Looking for your next obsession? The Creators Collective Podcasts is your gateway to the dark, the chilling, and the downright fascinating. We're a community of independent podcasts with one goal: to share the best in true crime, paranormal tales, folklore, and unexplained mysteries. Whether you crave cold cases that won't stay closed, haunted histories that refuse to be forgotten, or stories that make you sleep with the lights on, there's a show waiting for you in the collective. And when you join us, you're not just listening to one podcast. You're stepping into a world of creators who love this stuff as much as you do. Check out the Creators Collective today. Follow the link in our show notes to discover your next favorite podcast. We'll be waiting for you. Support reproductive justice in Niagara. Niagara Reproductive Justice is a grassroots collective based in the Niagara Region of Ontario, working to increase visibility and access to sexual and reproductive health care. They support people seeking abortion and other essential care by offering transportation, financial assistance, logistical help, and emotional support. Here's how you can help. You can make a one-time donation. Send an e-transfer to niagarareproductivejustice@gmail.com. Your support helps cover costs like gas for volunteer drivers, overnight stays, childcare, and other urgent needs. You can also support monthly via Patreon. Join their Patreon and support the cause month to month. It's patreon.com/Niagara Reproductive Justice. And you can volunteer your time. NRJ is always looking for volunteers to help with driving, outreach, admin support, and community organizing. If you're looking to make a real impact in the Niagara region, this is a great place to start. Contact them via email or DM them on Instagram or Facebook to learn more. You can find them on Instagram at Niagara Reproductive Justice and on Facebook at Niagara Reproductive Justice. Help amplify access to reproductive care right here in our own backyard. Whether you donate, volunteer, or spread the word, you're a part of the movement.
Arnold.
Do you want me to jump back in again?
You can.
Okay. Just because it's long.
It is a long one.
It's a lot of reading. So prior to releasing Arnold, detectives phoned his mother and asked if she could corroborate his alibi. She was sick that day and couldn't remember anything.
But he tasked her with waking him up?
At 8 p.m. She did, however, mention that her son hadn't worn a cowboy hat since he was released from jail. Cab driver Davies also reported that he had not seen Arnold wearing a cowboy hat since jail. He also recalled driving Arnold to the North Star Inn, but he could not remember the exact date.
Okay, but if you were at the Dominion shopping mall and people saw him there all day, from I think the report started at I remember 3, maybe earlier.
Yeah.
He could have bought a cowboy hat then.
At some point.
Right?
Yes. Salisbury House staff working that evening could not remember seeing Arnold that night, but also indicated that they did not know him. He was not only considered a suspect, but a suspect without an alibi by this point. On December 31st at approximately 11 a.m., detectives Batesta and McLean went to Salisbury House to follow up another tip. Restaurant manager Betty Ann Commodore reported that she had seen the man matching the description of the composite drawing with a waitress named Jackie. She also told police that this man always wore a cowboy hat, but for the past several nights he had worn a black toque. They followed up this information and spoke again with Jackie at her home. She told officers that police had already interviewed Terry the day after the offense. It is apparent that these investigators were unaware that Vandergraaf and Sobchak were interviewing Arnold as a suspect at that very moment.
So there's no communication between anybody?
No.
Right.
Vandergraaf's police report is summarized as follows. It appears that Arnold no longer has a cowboy hat. However, he had no clear-cut alibi for the times in question. There is nothing to tie Arnold into the case as a strong suspect. However, officers will continue other inquiries regarding Arnold.
He didn't have an alibi, so how can you clear him?
He's not cleared. Batesta and McLean, for their part, believe that Arnold had been ruled out simply because he had been interviewed by police. It should be noted that Betty Ann Commodore did not know Arnold until he got out of jail on December 15th, yet she had claimed he had always worn a cowboy hat until the last few days.
Oh.
But she hardly knew him. Shortly after noon, the same day...
Wait, though.
Okay.
But she didn't know him until he got out of jail December 15th.
Yeah.
But he lost his cowboy hat going into jail. And yet she's always seen him in a cowboy hat? Mm-hmm. So she would have, the time she's claiming she knew him, he has said he's lost the cowboy hat.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh.
Shortly after noon the same day, another tip was called into police, and this time it was from Terry Arnold. He had moments earlier been released by detectives and gone to the McDonald's across the street from the Ideal Donut Shop. Here he phoned police stating he had spotted a male who resembled the murder suspect. He then pointed out a male identified as Robert Fournier who was eating a hamburger, and he was quickly eliminated.
So he literally just was released and went, that guy, to try and divert attention. Wow.
On January 3rd, at approximately 11:15 a.m., detectives Cornell and Lucky followed up a tip from James Septon at his residence on Goulet. He overheard at a New Year's party that the possible suspect lived on Cromwell. On January 2nd at 6:30 p.m., he saw a male who matched the description walk into 25 Cromwell. Septon directed detectives to suite number 9. They too interviewed Arnold. So another pair of detectives have interviewed Arnold.
What is this, 3?
Felt he matched the description, but learned that he had been spoken to on several occasions. They confirmed this with Sergeant Ken Bieber, and no further action was taken. Then on January 17th at 10:15 p.m., Sergeants Polishin and Shipman attended to 25 Cromwell, Unit 9 or House 9, and requested that Arnold come with them to the PSB to be interviewed as a suspect. Arnold admitted meeting Stoppel shortly after being released from jail. He visited the donut shop on a few occasions for coffee, and he knew her as Barbara. Wow.
You don't even get a Barb?
No.
You're not that close.
You're not that close. Although only admitting to seeing her 2 or 3 times before her death, he admitted that he once had a crush on her. Once? You just met her. This was his rationale for going to the hospital. Hospital staff told him that she was not having visitors other than immediate family.
I guess.
He then asked a member. He then asked if a family member could come down so he could check her condition. Enter Muriel Stoppel. During further questioning, Arnold said he was at home sleeping until 8 p.m. on December 23rd when his brother woke him up. Shortly thereafter, got a ride to the North Star Inn from Reggie Davies. From there, he made his way to meet his girlfriend at the Salisbury house. It is unknown if any investigators even asked if the two were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, because didn't just one person say that they were?
Yeah.
Huh.
Arnold steadfastly denied being in the Ideal Donut shop on the night of the murder and maintained he was not involved. He was subsequently released after agreeing to submit to a polygraph test if required, and the test was never done.
I mean, realistically, if you are asked to do a polygraph test, don't. They are not reliable whatsoever, and they're inadmissible.
But at the time they were. They were big technology at the time.
They were hot stuff.
But they were unreliable.
Now, though, do not.
They're still unreliable to say.
They're super unreliable, and they're inadmissible in court. You can't even use it in a court case.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
On January 22nd at 12:04 p.m., Constables Hebert and Black were requested at the Dominion Shopping Center to meet with none other than Terry Arnold. Not finding him, so this is January 22nd. Not finding him there, they went to 25 Cromwell and found him sitting on the front steps. He pretended not to see them and walked into the block. Unable to reach anyone in Suite 9, the officers left. The same
Wow, that was really a good effort there.
Right? The same officers returned at 3:30 p.m. and found Arnold at home. He told police that he called them because he saw yet another man matching the description of the composite.
That right there to me screams guilty.
Yes. A few days later, Sergeant Mortimer received a phone call from an unidentified caller. She stated that she had seen the man responsible for the murder sitting with a friend on January 22nd. She told police that the man's name was Terry and he was the cousin of her girlfriend who lived in Furby. She stated that on 2 separate occasions prior to this date, she saw Terry at the Salisbury house and at the Salisbury house at Sherbrooke and Broadway.
You're very excited. I love it.
Yes. She said he was wearing the same clothing as on January 22nd, except his cowboy hat had been exchanged for a multicolored toque. Now we're going into February. On February 4th at 11:20 a.m., the Polaroid photograph of Arnold that was taken on December 31st, 1981 was shown to John Dirksen and Marcel Glue, along with 7 other Polaroids. Neither could pick Arnold as a suspect. Fuck! Armed with more than enough to consider him the prime suspect, the investigation into his alibi and background seemed to fizzle. Beener would later tell the inquiry that Arnold seemed to slip through the cracks. And although he indicated that he was a truck driver, there seems to be no effort in confirming it. A simple driver's record check would have revealed that he only had a Class 7 beginner's license. Yeah.
They've botched
so much. Other checks would have shown that he was unemployed. Why was he lying? And more importantly, why wasn't anyone catching it?
Maybe because, like, if you're a truck driver, you have a decent, steady job, and he was maybe trying... Because he only said that to Barb's mom, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he was trying to come across as like
a decent guy.
Yeah.
Valuable information concerning his background was also available to investigators at that time. Youth records and workers at the youth center and Seven Oaks would have been able to identify him as a classic psychopath. Countless stories of his lies and sexual deviance were also available. One of the major concerns the review team had was how Arnold could state that he used to have a crush on Barb when he had only seen her a few times. Thank you. There had to have been a connection more than a few chance meetings. The answer was not available in 1981, but not put together. Sorry, the answer was available in 1981, but not put together until 1999. Let's keep going. Victimology is the study of victims and the examination of every facet of their lifestyle, background, health, and physical characteristics. In a murder case, it is imperative to know everything about the victim. While reviewing the file, investigators learned that Barb worked at the Red River Exhibition in the summer of 1981. And it was a yearly entertainment carnival set up on the grounds of Polo Park and almost always accompanied by several days of rain. Classic Canada.
Classic.
The author of the book confirmed this by speaking with Barb's family, Andrew the author. She worked at a darts booth, and Muriel would take a bus to the Red River Exhibition at 1 a.m. and escort Barb home. Criminal investigators also require the same passion of knowledge about the offender. As an investigator, you have to know every facet of the suspect's physical and psychological background. Reviewing Arnold's record, investigators learned that he was arrested and photographed on June 21st, 1981. In the photograph, or mugshot, he is wearing a uniform with the Conklin emblem on the front. Conklin ran the Red River Exhibition.
There you go.
They reviewed several arrest reports and discovered that he admitted working at the Red River Exhibition in the summer of 1981. The connection between the two became clear. He knew her long before she worked at the donut shop. And Arnold became easily obsessed with any female he encountered. This is all starting to click now. Poor Jackie.
Jackie, run.
Run, Jackie. Barb's friendly, outgoing character may have led him to have a fixation of being with her.
Listen, guys, just because she smiles at you,
she's doing her fucking job.
She's literally being paid to be nice to you.
Listen, the guys aren't listening to this podcast.
This is true.
Muriel told, and also shout out to the guys that are. We love you.
Yes.
And I see you, and thank you, King. Muriel told Andrew the author that while Barb worked at the Red River Exhibition, she would bring home other workers' clothes and have them washed for them.
She was a nice girl.
We can only hope that his clothes were not among them.
Yeah.
Just as one would presume that the investigation into Arnold would commence, it somehow inexplicably ended. The 1999 investigative team was not armed with new techniques or new DNA evidence as reported to the media, unless, of course, reading was invented in 1999. So why mislead the public into thinking some breakthrough in modern policing was responsible for uncovering the truth? Investigators had the same information that was provided to the original investigators. They appeared to all miss several pieces of the puzzle. One by one, former investigators were surprised at all the evidence pointing to Arnold, which only made it more likely that no one had read the report. Fuck me. Don't clip that. The frontline investigators did a commendable job in gathering the initial information on Arnold. All the contacts they made were documented and filed. They were inserted into the report as they came in. Taking all contacts police had with Arnold and looking at them together would have made a compelling case against him. Slipping through the cracks, being poorly organized, tunnel vision, whatever the terminology, this flaw occurred, and it is not immune from happening today.
Nope.
There are many safeguards in place, but human error still occurs regarding the victim's age, race, or sex. You may rightfully wonder how a police investigation could have missed all these connections. Andrew reflects that by asserting that policing is a human process and as such, subject to all the frailties of the human mind. Dramatic blunders in policing have no borders. Just days after the 1999 review began, Andrew learned that Arnold had been convicted of the 1981 murder of Christine Brown.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Well, I guess we should cover that one, too. They also learned that Calgary cold case officers were investigating him for the 1987 murder of Denise Lapierre. Wow, second time that last name's in here. I wonder if there was a relation. Don't assume that. He was also a prime suspect in the disappearance of a young Indigenous girl, Roberta Ferguson, whose body is still missing. Fuck, he did it.
Probably because they didn't look very hard for her because she was Indigenous. They didn't look into anything else that was there, and they do this with Indigenous women all the time.
All the time. Arnold's name inundated the original report, but police were so sure Sophonow was guilty, they refused to do the simplest of all checks and balances, read the report. Check the pond.
Check the fucking pond.
Investigators would soon need to work in unison with the RCMP, corrections, and Calgary police to build a case for Arnold's prosecution for the murders of Denise Lapierre, Roberta Ferguson, and Barb Stoppel. With Arnold safely behind bars, they focused their attention on finalizing the innocence of Sophonow.
Good.
Sergeant Legge was tasked with contacting Sophonow to gain his cooperation and let him know that the review he requested so long ago was finally going to happen. Right?
Yeah, about fucking time.
I mean, is this a good place to stop? This next section isn't that long, though.
We can crush it.
Let's crush it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We can crush it.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna get into the actual murderer.
Yeah, we have information about the real suspect.
The real dude. This is the background of the man that slipped through the cracks.
Let's hear it.
On May 31st.
Oh right. This is the connection. I remember. This is good. Go. You're gonna get. Remember read.
Oh, she's excited, guys. On May 31st, 1961.
1962.
Sorry, 61. Because I'm thinking 81 when... My word.
I'm sorry for correcting you.
Dates are important, though.
They are.
May 31st, 1962.
Thank you.
After a painful delivery...
They're all painful. Please continue.
I wouldn't know.
Sorry.
I'm
telling you.
Yeah. Donna Patton gave birth to her son at St. Catharines, Ontario. That's the connection.
And
that
might be an episode. How many killers has St. Catharines birthed? Fuck.
The Niagara region in general.
Just so many. Keep going.
It's like how many people, we're very known to get cancer in this area too.
Well, this is all the GM plants.
And the pesticides. Donna and the father, Afton Samuel Arnold, or Sam.
Afton. We went by Sam, so that's fine.
They named their boy Terry Samuel Arnold. Apart from being born with yellow jaundice.
They just pooped that out.
Yeah. There's no signs that he was anything but a normal baby. Psychopath is generally a self-centered, callous, and remorseful person.
Remorseless
person. I'm on a roll today.
It's fine.
We're human.
We are
human.
This is an AI.
This is the second podcast that I've read today.
Done today, yeah.
A psychopath is generally a self-centered, callous, and remorseless person.
That's right.
Profoundly lacking in empathy and the ability to form warm emotional relationships with others. A person who functions without the restraints of conscious.
Yeah. So there's like a psychopath and a sociopath.
They're kind of the same.
Very similar. A psychopath can't really tell the difference between right and wrong, where a sociopath, like, they have a hard time, like, they kind of understand what they're doing is wrong, like they get socially that what they're doing is wrong, they just like don't feel it in their body. A sociopath knows what they're doing is wrong and is doing it anyway. Please continue.
Yeah, they're very, very, very similar. Do you know that if somebody smiles and they're a sociopath or a psychopath, their eyes, the corner of their eyes don't raise?
Oh my God.
Because they don't feel those emotions.
Yeah.
So they're mimicking what they see other people emit as happiness.
Yes.
So when you smile naturally, the corners of your eyes lift because your whole face is going, but they just move their mouth because all they see associate with a smile
And that's
is your
not
lips.
us being ableist, because autistic people.
Yeah.
Just want to say that. That does not count for people on the spectrum.
No.
Just saying. And don't assume that of everybody.
People on the spectrum, though, you can tell they have emotions and that they care. And
deeper. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. We're getting off track.
So off track.
And I lost my spot. There I am.
Traditionally,
we form the image of a psychopath as an out-of-control serial killer, leaving a wake of blood and destruction behind them. The names like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Paul Bernardo, and Ed Gein come to mind. He's another Niagara one.
Yeah. Paul Bernardo, not Ed Gein.
Yes. In reality, there are different types of psychopaths, including ones who are not necessarily criminals. This is very true. Actually, some of them can make they can make very, very good friends because they, especially if they're diagnosed earlier, because they know that they don't pick up on those social cues or feel those things. They will sometimes be like, okay, I recognize that this person is sad. What is something I can do to make them better?
Yes.
So they sometimes put in more effort. There was one girl who was saying her best friend is a sociopath, and she's the best friend she ever has. She cares, like, she goes out of her way to do kinder things than people who are not, because she's aware of the fallacies that condition causes for her.
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily criminals.
Yes.
Psychopaths exist in our world as bankers, lawyers, doctors, high-ranking police officers, politicians. There's an orange one right now I can think of. And a host of other professions. The point to emphasize is that being born a psychopath is not the only ingredient required to making a monster. This requires the appropriate environment.
Yes.
Do you know getting struck in the head, like head injuries, is linked to a lot of them as well? Like Ted Bundy, for example, is one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very.
After reviewing the literature and the background of Andrew, the author, he firmly believes that Terry was born a psychopath. At the age of 9, Arnold took a 5-year-old girl, into a nearby bush, removed her clothing, and sexually assaulted her. He is awful. 9.
Yeah,
His father, Sam, learned of the abuse and pinched Terry in the face.
Punched.
Pinch. I was like,
so
that's
close.
That's even.
You're like, pinched. Pinched him in the face.
Because I was like, that was weird. That's a weird reaction. Punched Terry in the face and may have knocked him through a window.
Fuck, that's intense. No child deserves that. But also, like, if that's clearly not the first time he's punched his son.
No, that's not going to be.
Clearly, Terry was sexualized young.
Yeah.
Not that that's an excuse, please.
They often mimic what they see happens at home.
Yes.
He now wanted nothing to do with Terry, who was subsequently placed in various youth institutions in Alberta. In 1976, he was transferred to the Manitoba Youth Center and presented himself as having sociopathic behavior disorder. It soon became apparent that he was becoming institutionalized and had the ability to manipulate stuff. They often do. He played one group of people off against another.
Also, these people weren't properly trained to be working with these people.
They don't know what we know now. Yeah. And even that, even medical in general, not just, mental health still has a long way to go now, but he was constantly challenging both staff and fellow inmates, resulting in the kids hating him and the staff burning out. Positive peer culture was the treatment used at the time, and he was kicked out of the program. In fact, routinely, he was not allowed in class and actually had his desk in the hallway by himself. There were a couple kids like that when I was in school. That was still a thing that they did.
Yeah.
He was also prone to violence and damaging property as he acted out on a weekly basis. On one occasion, he bit a male worker in the arm. Bites are nasty.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my place there. And he hit several staff. He hit and had to be hit several times in the head before releasing his grip.
Oh my God.
Wow. This was not the last time that he was used biting as a way to harm others.
Ooh.
Interviewing staff that had encouraged Arnold in the Youth Center and the Seven Oaks Detention Center, Andrew, the author, was overwhelmed by the level of consistency in his description. Each of the staff members had vivid recollections of him being unkempt, dirty, having body odor, like a heavy body odor due to a reluctance to wash, bad acne, and a poor self-image. Sounds like he was depressed, too.
Yeah.
He internalized...
It does sound like he was depressed.
Right?
Yeah.
He internalized nothing and demanded instant gratification. It was here where he would get the nickname of Pigpen. For those of you who might be too young, that is a reference to a Peanuts character. One worker went as far as to describe him as the most damaged kid I have ever come across. That's sad.
That is sad.
Signs of sexual deviance were becoming clearly visible. He routinely stole girls' underwear and hid them in his room. On one occasion, he was caught in the bathroom putting on a girl's bra.
Oh.
So maybe there was some
sexual, not sexual, just some like gender identity.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough for people who are dealing with that now, but back in like the 70s and the 80s,
there was nothing.
It was horrible for people like that. The youth that witnessed it laughed at him, causing him to blow up, ranting and raving. He was a pack rat. His room was full of property that he had stolen from others. Arnold had homemade books full of Sears bra and underwear photos to masturbate to.
Oh.
There was even, an empty yogurt container that he had collected his semen in.
That's why I teach your kids that you don't have to save it.
You don't.
Dispose of it.
You don't. There's no shame in the touch.
No shame in the touch.
He was described as being totally preoccupied and obsessed with sex, with a high propensity to aggression if rejected.
Wow. Socially,
he would attempt to dominate smaller kids and would gravitate to any signs of affection from female. He was also described as having an above-average intelligence. Psychopaths and sociopaths often are very high intelligent.
Yeah.
It was known to study people at the time. Nonetheless, he was an outcast who, one worker said, didn't really have a human side. Even at this young age, officials believed that there was no appropriate facility for him. So in this province, and he would likely be spending the rest of his years behind bars. A youth chaplain, Reverend Barney Pinay. Thank you for the French. During the reinvestigation, was asked what he could recall about Arnold, and he paused reflectively and shook his head and said he was so full of rage.
We're going to stop there for today because
it gets into it.
It gets into it. I don't want to rush through it. But we have some more on Terry Arnold. And we're going to do a creep of the week.
Ooh, I like a creep of the week.
And we're back. And since we were talking about St. Catharines, I saved this a while ago. And we might have to do some Googling while we do this. So, creep of the week this week, St. Catharines Mayor, Matt Cisco, because he has used strong mayor powers to bypass the city's standard procurement safeguards in awarding a $250,000 single source contract. And so far, Cisco has used strong mayor powers 91 times, including in instances that appear to stretch those powers beyond their intended purpose and authority. Indications are that around Ontario, some mayors may have been using strong mayor's powers for reasons that do not comply with legislation. I'm just going to quickly look up strong mayor's powers. Ontario. Strong mayor's powers in Ontario are enhanced executive authorities granted to heads of council in... Okay, so it is what it fucking sounds like. I'm going to keep reading this, though. This is interesting. I'm going to start from the top again. Strong mayor powers in Ontario are enhanced executive authorities granted to heads of council in designated municipalities to accelerate housing construction, aiming for 1.5 million new homes by 2031. These powers allow mayors to propose budgets, veto bylaws... contradicting provincial priorities like housing.
Is this something Doug Ford put in place? It sounds like something Doug Ford put in place.
Yeah.
Because he's getting rid of the Greenbelt, you asshole.
So here are some key aspects of the strong mayor powers. Budgeting. Mayors can propose the municipal budget rather than council. So he can just say, this is the number. Veto power, which sounds very juvenile. Mayors can veto bylaws that could interfere with provincial priorities such as housing or infrastructure development.
I don't think the issue is that we need more houses. I think the issue is that we need some fucking rent control.
We need rent control. We don't need more houses. We need rent control.
He's like, I'm going to build affordable housing. But your rent is going to start at $2,700.
That's not affordable.
For a one-bedroom.
Yeah. Staffing control as well. So mayors can hire, dismiss, and direct top municipal department heads and the chief administrative officer, and also procedural authority. Mayors can bring matters forward for council consideration and create council committees. So the purpose of this is introduced via the Strong Mayors Building Homes Act in 2022, so Doug Ford. These powers are designed to speed up development approvals. No, it's not. It's designed to make people money faster.
This sounds like why they tried to amalgamate Niagara.
Amalgamate. Yes, this is exactly why they tried to amalgamate.
A few mayors, because we're 9 municipalities, and every one of these cities has their own mayor. We have the largest group of city council in Ontario, which I'm not saying is great, but that's a lot of people to stop you from what you think you want to do in this area.
Yeah, so he gave the mayors powers, and then now they can,
and some mayors are probably like, fuck this.
Yeah. And as of April 2026... these powers are being expanded to 169 additional municipalities, bringing the total to over 200, including regional chairs in some cases. Critics have argued these powers undermine local democracy and consolidate power, shifting decision-making away from the majority of council. That is exactly what it does.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it does. So Mayor Jim Diodati of Niagara Falls can just say, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're just going to do it.
I'm
the mayor. I say so. Let's just do it.
You are elected by the people to rule for the people, not rule the people.
Not rule the people based on what your boss fucking says, aka Doug
And
Ford.
he's supposed to work for the people.
At least for the people who voted him in.
And you're telling us we're all doing fucking basket weaving?
Oh, now he's Creep of the Week too.
First of all, that's insulting to Indigenous communities that
Thank
do
you.
Basket weaving.
And it was just Easter. What were we going to put our eggs in, Doug Ford? Fuck you.
I hope your kids didn't get an Easter basket, because if you gave your kids an Easter basket,
they
like you
better
were going to
put
have
it back.
Just like you were going to have Christmas dinner with your families when you were telling everybody during COVID that they weren't allowed. And that's why you changed what the bylaws were so that we could have Christmas dinner, because people were saying they were going to hang outside your house. Listen, Doug Ford, I've got some issues.
Oh my God. Every week, Doug Ford. We might as well just call the segment Why Doug Ford.
Doug Ford sucks.
Or one of his like minions is Creep of the Week. But yeah, so Matt Cisco, Mayor of St. Catharines, Creep of the Week for using his strong mayor powers 91 times. And awarding a single contract worth $250,000. See you later.
We do not need more houses.
Or
we need affordable houses.
Affordable housing.
We need affordable rent. We need the prices of our buying homes to go down. So, enough.
Yeah.
Duck Ford, enough.
Enough. And this is the end of the episode today.
This is all we got for you.
They got to practice. The band, the Feverish Lemons, have to practice. So you can follow on TikTok. You can follow. Sorry, Daisy's barking. Okay, he's got it to stop. I'm overstimulated.
You can follow Valerie over on TikTok and Instagram on Radio Valerie.
Or Canadian Creepies.
You can also check her out on Canadian Creepies.
Speakpipe.com/Canadian Creepies.
Don't forget, we've also got our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Canadian Creepies.
There will be exclusive stuff on there, behind the scenes stuff, get to know us a little better. And you can find me, Amanda Joy, at Down the Crooked Path. Also on TikTok and Instagram. I do a Tuesday segment over here, and I have a Thursday segment on my own podcast of the same name.
I'm done talking now. Have a good day. Have a good thanks
Peace,
for
guys.
the episode. Bye.
Creep you later.
Don't let the bed creeps bite.